individual ownership of property. I heard a thing the other day. I raise farm animals. I raise cows and horses, and there was a bill that passed. I didn't know it passed at the time, but it was called the Food Protection Act. That might not have been the exact.
Yeah, the Food Safety Act. Food Safety Act.
Safety Act, right. And I called our two senators. It was in the Senate at the time, and I called Senator Lamar Alexander's office, and I called Senator Corker's office. And I said, I asked a guy, of course I talked to either one of them, but I talked to their age. And I asked a guy, it had already, I didn't know it, I thought it was on the floor, it had passed. Senator Alexander had voted for it. I called Senator Corker's, and I asked the guy, I said, what about the small farm? Oh, Senator Alexander would never do anything to hurt farmers. Called Senator Corker's office. Well, Senator Corker voted against it. Now, you know, what's the deal here? If it's good for the state of Tennessee, why would one senator vote for it and one vote against it? The thing about it to me is this, and what people don't realize is that it has to be brought home to people. You say, okay, if you know, things go south, I got an acre of ground, I go in and plant a garden. I'll get me a cow, a couple of pigs, a chicken. No, you won't. Because under the Food Protection Act, they can come in and say, you can't grow anything because you're spreading bad stuff into the food supply. I saw a thing the other day about mad cow disease out in California. It's becoming, okay, you're endangering the health of all the animals in the country by your animals, so you can't grow your animals anymore. Agenda 21 wants to reduce the population of planet Earth by some, I'm afraid to even say it because it really makes me sound crazy, but some tremendous event. Earth is God to these people, and we're mistreating the Earth as evil human beings. The Bible says God gave, He gave this Earth to man to subdue, and the animals on it, and everything on it. And this Earth is not God. I love the Earth. I'm a very earthy sort of person, but it is not my God. It is not a God. It doesn't have any power. And we have mistreated it. I know we've mistreated it, but the Earth is perfectly capable of refurbishing itself.
I was about to say, Charlie Daniels, our guest, they don't care about the environment, these globalists. They've got a lot of people that follow them that are misguided. It's all about a power grab. Under Agenda 21, Obama can shut down coal power plants that his buddies don't own, and he's done it, and then that makes General Electric and others, who, by the way, are tax exempt under this fraud, they make giant profits. It's about monopolies. And when you talk about the Food Safety Act, you're right. Big Pharma and Big Agro wrote it to shut down family farms. I mean, look at them going after the Amish. I'm just backing you up there, Charlie. Look at them going after people with lemonade stands. Look at them going after gardens. The system does not want us self-sufficient.
Well, you know what the next move's going to be, don't you? It's going to be coming after you're done.
Oh, yeah.
There is something afoot here right now. I don't know exactly what it is, but there's something. And the one thing that really scares me is the fact that we are one Supreme Court justice away from Obama doing just about any damn thing he wants to do. I mean, if you can't get it through the Congress, and the Congress and Senate would never have enough guts to try to take people's guns away from them. They would not do it. They know it would be political suicide. But if it's done through the Supreme Court, it becomes the law of the land. I tell you, it ain't going to sit well down my way at all. It ain't going to sit well. But if they come out and people say, well, I will not give them my guns, it take about one or two Ruby Ridges and Wacos to convince people, hey, it ain't worth it. You know, and that's how deep this thing goes. It's, you know, it scares the heck out of me. I'm 75 years old. You know, I mean, I don't know if I will see this stuff implemented or not, but I got a kid and I got grandkids, and I don't want to see them live in a world that Big Brother runs, and you got to worry about some Nazi-type SOB come knocking on the door in the middle of the night and taking you to task about some opinion that you have. Hate crime opinion. You know, to me, what is a hate crime? I mean, you know, if you kill somebody, you must hate them. I mean, how many times do you kill somebody? If you hate somebody, it's a hate crime. You kill them twice. What is it? You know, what's the difference? So, you know, this stuff, these little things in this Obamacare thing that was passed. We have a congressman named Mark Gordon in Tennessee that he was not going to run again. he voted for the Obamacare knowing his constituency did not want it. He has disappeared. Nobody even knows where he's at. I tried to call him out. He owes it to the people who put him in office to come out and tell us why he voted for it.
And now we see Obama, Charlie Daniels is our guest right now, giving 2,000 plus companies waivers. So again, his buddies get waivers from what he does. That's total discrimination. But going back to the Second Amendment, as you know, I know you're a big supporter of them. The NRA, and they're usually pretty conservative about what they say. They have the intel. The Washington Times reported on this last year that in his second term, he is going to try to ban semi-autos. And then we got documents that he told the Brady campaign, don't worry, I'm going to do it, quote, under the radar. And remember that tape that got recorded, people had, where he said, yeah, these Bible-hugging, gun-hugging, bitter clangers. And so absolutely, sir, they are coming after our guns. What about Fast and Furious, where Obama shipped guns into Mexico and CBS got the memos to blame the Second Amendment?
Well, I think Eric Holder, for the two things, if he did that, he should be impeached and run out of office. He claims he didn't know about it. If he did, he should be run out for incompetence. How do you cross guns into a sovereign nation across international borders, and nobody knows about it except the peons that work in the thing? Now, just tell me, how do you do that? If the Obama administration is that incompetent, if they can do that, if they can carry guns across state lines, across the international borders and give them to people, in essence, that's what happened. It's not, they didn't actually carry them across themselves. And you don't know about it, it's going on in your department where you fire everybody in your department, But this guy knew about it. He had to know about it. There's no way Holder didn't know about that thing. I don't care what he said. And I would accuse him of lying if he says he don't know anything about it. He knew it. He knew it early on. He didn't do anything about it. He's such an arrogant SOB that he thinks that anything he does he can get away with. And, this is just any other administration would have fired him 2 years ago. And this guy's wreaking havoc with America. He's wreaking havoc in Arizona. People knew what was going on in Arizona. I met the family of a rancher, a third generation or so rancher in Texas who was killed by people coming across the border. This is a family. This is a good American family that make a good, honest living off the land, and they're good people. And their father and their husband have been killed by these people who come across the border. This is what's happening all along the border. You don't hear about it. But every time somebody comes across, some of these people come across, certainly they come across there, they just want to make a living, okay? You want to make a living, you want to do it, go do it like everybody, my people did when they came over from Ireland, and other people when they came from Germany and Israel and all these places, immigrated here. Why? Just because they live next to us. People from Canada can't do that. People from Canada can't walk across the border. This is so daggone totally political. And so base expanding and so, contingency thing that we get this many voters. What? Tell me something. How can you go into a bank and cash a check and it makes you put out a picture ID? I can't get you plane without a picture ID. I can't vote in my state. And they know who I am. I vote the same votes all the time. But you got to present that ID before they're going to let you vote. And you mean to tell me that it's right to let people go vote and we don't even know if they're citizens?
Well, Charlie, as you know, all over the country, right here in Austin, they let the illegals basically vote. They let them get bank accounts with no ID. But I've got to go show 3 sometimes at my bank. The point is that the government elite are on top, the illegals are second, citizens are third class, and the government just ignores laws whenever they want. It's totally lawless. This is globalism. Now, talking about Agenda 21 and this whole world government situation, I'm seeing a huge awakening. Arizona's on the verge of passing it. Another state has passed a law against it. Other states are passing laws against the NDAA to secretly arrest Americans. It does look like there is an awakening happening. And to go back to that song you had about, America waking up and getting, together again, we damn sure fooled you. I think we're on the cusp of another big awakening.
I certainly hope you're right. I hope you're right. I was just involved in the National Day of Prayer, yesterday, and I was making speeches. One of the big things I was talking about, the further away we get from God, the more lost
right. Congress can make no law, and they take a letter from Thomas Jefferson saying he didn't want to have one church, a one-state religion, and they twist it so instead the government runs a religion, and they say that's the Constitution when that's the opposite. Government cannot touch it, cannot do anything, zero. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Charlie Daniels, you are absolutely on target.
Well, you know, that part of the law in the Constitution was to protect the church from the government, not the government from the church. And it's all twisted around. But, you know, if we start talking about, you know, things that offend you, I see stuff all the time that offend me. But I'm not going to go out and do a protest about it because, you know, I don't like it. If other people want to, you know, have lewd pictures up and that sort of thing, I don't have to look at it. I won't right by it. Don't bother me. Why can't you do the same thing with the cross? It's like these people just go around and look for little things that, and what the situation is, it's not separation of church and state, it's separation of God and state. That's what they want to do.
Well, sir, as you know, they want to replace it with this fake environmentalism. It's in 21. They admit in the UN they want a global religion. They said that at the last big UN summit that Lord Monckton and others that were there saw and got the documents on. This is a cult, and you notice it's just Christianity. They're even telling people not to wear shirts with a cross on it in the mall now. It's an idea that you don't have freedom of speech in this country.
Oh, we have freedom of speech in this country, and I will wear any dead blame thing I please to. And, you know, I mean, that's just a situation. You know, I hope people, if people listen, people don't be intimidated. Don't be intimidated by this stuff. A big part of these things that you're hearing are not law. They're not law in this country. Separation of church and state is not law. It's not constitutional. This thing, Agenda 21, that we're talking about, please don't take my word for it. I don't want you to take my word for it. I want you to believe it. So go look it up on your internet. Go check it for yourself. It is very real. It's been going on since back in the 70s. Some of the most powerful people in the world are connected to it and endorsing it and promoting it. And the UN, which in my book should be, the building should be pushed into the East River or turned into a homeless hotel and run them people out of here, Linda Parish. It's just a toothless debating society, anti-American debating society, I should say. You imagine these idiots running anything. They can't find their way to the bathroom. And they want to take over our national parks. They want to say what we can do with a food chain, what kind of animals we can raise, and this sort of thing. It's just like you said a while ago, this is total power grab, total control.
All right, folks, we'll be right back with more of this encore retransmission of my interview with Charlie Daniels.
More and more people, as you say, are looking into whether